Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Wednesday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Bob made it here to a Wednesday, first Friday miracle for some, Coaster Bob Day for others. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Oh, it's great to talk to you, Beam. Wednesday comes quickly when you get Monday off, so midweek here.
Even though we worked.
We did work, but it still felt like an off day because everybody else was off, so I was feeling good about life and everything else. So pretty exciting there. Feeling good about it. No football last night. Watched a little of the tennis.
Oh, good.
All men's one half of the bracket for the semifinal in the U.S. Open. So guaranteeing a U.S. man into a major slam final for the first time since when, Beam? Do you know?
2005, 2003.
2003, Roddick won the U.S. 2005, I believe, Roddick was in the finals. Wimbledon, I think 9 was Andy Roddick's last final, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so it's been 15
Or no,
years.
maybe it's 5 the last time. I read all this morning.
Yeah.
And now I need to go back and look at it. But yeah, it's been quite some time. So watching Tiafoe last night, it was fun to sit there and watch that with my daughter. I didn't stay up for the whole thing. We went to midnight, for heaven's sake. But I watched him win the first set, break him the second before I ended up getting broke back, but ended up taking care of business. And it was a pleasant surprise this morning and pretty excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Had a good little Tuesday. Can't complain. May had some stuff going on with work until like 5:30. So it was me and the boy for a long time yesterday, basically all day. So that was cool. I got to hang out. Took the boys on a walk. That was pretty solid. Went to the park, walked down the block, walked down the street. I said, "Hey, William, where do you want to go?" I'm like, you decide where we want to go. So he walked down the block and then he turned around. He just goes, "Home? You want to go home? That's where you want to go?" It's like, all right. And then he starts walking the other way. I'm like, well, I'll just pick you up and carry you down the block.
No, let him lead you, Beam.
Yeah, and then we would end up crossing Morse Road and going who knows where. But it was pretty solid little Tuesday that we had. Watched the season finale of Hard Knocks last night, Bob. Had that going for me, which was pretty good. But other than that, yeah, man, really, really solid Tuesday. We got an awesome program lined up for you here on a Wednesday. Ryan Day having a press conference yesterday. You're going to hear from him coming up here in our next segment. Doesn't want his team looking forward, Bob. He wants to be focused on the now. So we'll get to Ryan Day's comments coming up here in our next segment. 6:35 AP Top 25 poll out for the first time after week number 1 of the regular season in college football. How did the pollsters react to week 1? We'll get into that coming up here in the 6 o'clock hour as well. 7 o'clock hour, NFL begins tomorrow. You have the Chiefs hosting the Ravens and the curtain raiser. We will do our NFC preview, Bob. We'll pick out divisions, pick out our playoff teams coming up here in the top of the 7 o'clock hour. We'll also hear from Chip Kelly. He had some comments yesterday as Ohio State offensive coordinator, so you're going to hear from him. And then Dustin Schutte of SI, he's going to join the program. We'll recap what happened in the week in the Big Ten, 17-1 out of the 18 games played in the Big Ten. So we'll talk to Dustin Schutte of SI coming up here at 7:35. And then Berm, he's going to round out the program with us as we talk some Buckeyes with him coming up here at 8:35. Before we get into anything else today, it is Wednesday, the 4th day of September, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob, what do you got lined up for us today, buddy?
And of note, Andy Roddick lost in Wimbledon in 4, 5, and 9.
Okay, so 9 was the
all
last
to
one.
Roger Federer.
Yeah.
So
It's a pretty good guy to lose to. He won a lot
the
of them.
ninth one was an epic 5-setter that was like 4.5 hours, tie breaks and everything else. So yeah, the last time U.S. man won it, 2003, 21 years ago, and 15 years the last time they were in a final. So guaranteeing one in the final with Nadal, Federer, and now Joker kind of out. This has opened up a little bit. So a couple of U.S. men getting a chance to get it done. This date, September 4th, 248th day of the year, 118 days remaining this 2024. This date, 1781. The City of Angels, Los Angeles, is founded. Los Angeles.
Listening to some Red Hot Chili Peppers on the way in this morning.
Oh, there you go. By 44 Spanish settlers. They said back in 1781. This date, 1882. The Pearl Street Station in New York becomes the first power plant for paying customers, lighting up that portion of the Big Apple. First public lights going up right there, Beam. 1886, the Apache Chief Geronimo surrenders, ending the last major U.S. Indian War as they begin to wrap up the settling of the West. 1888, George Eastman patents the first roll film camera and registers the Kodak trademark.
Ooh.
And it's amazing.
Kodak moment.
Absolutely. Not long after that, Shark's ancestors developed the tripod.
I thought that was AJ's.
Well, it was Sharks. AJ's, they took it. AJ took it to the bedroom first, so that was key for them. This date's 1972. Mark Spitz becomes the first Olympic athlete to win 7 gold medals in a single Olympics.
A sweet mustache.
Sweet stash.
What's amazing is he broke world records in all 7 races.
And those, yeah. Well, I mean, he was swimming with long hair. I mean, he was just, it was wild. So good. No goggles. Just a different time back then. Only, I remember him getting kind of salty because Michael Phelps obviously has won all these. He's like, you couldn't be a professional swimmer when he came out. He's like, because the way it was set up, there was no endorsements.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it wasn't a thing. But Mark Spitz, one of the greatest of all time, to ultimately do it. This date's same day, 1972, 52 years ago. Price is Right debuts on CBS. It is the longest running game show on television.
And now here's the star of the new Price is Right, Bob Barker.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the new Price is Right. And let me assure you, fans of the old Price is Right, that this is your favorite game, still based on the pricing of merchandise, with wonderful awards for smart shoppers. We call it the new Price is Right because we have some exciting new games that you will enjoy right there at home with our studio audience, and we're going to get that first game going right now. Here's the first item up for bids on the new Price is Right.
It's a fur coat.
Ooh.
There you go.
Introducing a new game, Plinko.
It's pretty remarkable. The new Price is Right. What year did Bob Barker come on, Shark?
That was it, 72.
Oh, so there was a Price is Right before
Yeah,
that? But
I think Bill Cullen was the original host of The Price is Right. But Bob came in with the new Price is Right.
My grandma Janet loves The Price is Right.
it was great.
Make sure that she
Drew
is
Carey's been doing it for like 12 or 13 years.
a
It's
long
been a while.
time. My grandma makes sure she's in front of the tube every morning for the showcase.
I like the fact that they kept it. It still looks like 1970s-ish.
It does.
You know, and I used to watch it all the time in the summer. It was absolutely tremendous as a kid growing up. 1976, the Fleetwood Mac album hits #1. It's the first with Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks on it. Would love to hear some of that, Shark. Unfortunately not. This day, 1998, Google was founded in Stanford by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. And in 2002, the Oakland A's, one of the greatest and most historic Major League Baseball franchises, most accomplished, win their 20th straight game. It is a record that will stand until 2017 in the American League, until it is broken by who, Shark?
The Tribe.
That's right.
We can call them the Indians back then. Here you go with the A's, though.
A 19-game winning streak on the line here for the A's. The front runners in the American League West right now 3 up on the Angels. Swung on, fly ball, deep right field. They've done it again. And in the bottom of the ninth, Scott Hatteberg comes up and hits a bomb to right field for the game-winning home run. The Oakland A's have set a new American League record with their 20th consecutive win. And this is a game nobody here will ever forget. They have done this so many times under so many different sets of circumstances in the last 3 weeks, but this was without question the wildest win of all 20.
Scott Hatteberg, clutch. Chris Pratt doing a nice job. Ever played first base, Scott? It's not that hard. It's incredibly hard.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, I was hoping we get maybe just a clip straight up from Moneyball, Shark. You know, that might have been
It's one of the best sports movies of all time, in my book.
They did a good job.
I love it.
Some birthdays today. Vince Dooley, born on this date, 1932, the longtime Georgia head coach and AD. He had won their last national championship before Kirby Smart back in 1980. Had a record of 101 and 77. Turning 80 today, Bubba Knight, Shark. He is the brother of Gladys Knight and the leader of the Pips. You always wondered who was in charge? Well, that would be Bubs.
Love them.
Taking care of it. Dean Pease, Ohio native, Dunkirk, Ohio, 2-time Super Bowl champ, long-time NFL head coach. Went to Bowling Green, turning 75 today. Tom Watson, turning 75, 8 majors. What was the only major he didn't win, Shark?
Oh, the PGA.
Well done, sir. Good job. Good job out of you.
Won 5 over across the pond.
Yeah.
Almost had a 6th.
Yeah.
It was really
He
close.
was like
to
50 years. Was he 52, 54?
Well, it was 2009. You're saying he's 75?
15, so 60?
Yeah, 60.
There you go.
Wow.
He ended up finishing second, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, they went
Stewart
to
Sink.
he missed. He had a
A little uphill. I
Yeah,
don't know
he
what
left
it
it
was, 6
short.
or 8 footer.
yeah, he did.
That was great. I remember watching that. It was pretty fun.
Seems like that was 5 years ago.
No, it was 15.
I know, it was a
long
long
time
time.
ago, Beamer. Billy was not even a thought in your mind.
Oh no way.
Mike Piazza, Hall of Fame catcher, 12-time All-Star for the Dodgers and Mets, turning 56 years young.
And here's the man the Mets want up in this spot, down a run late in the game. 2 doubles and 3 trips.
And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
Just a feeling of being very grateful that I was in the right place at the right time and I was able to come through. Just honored the fact that so many people relate to it. It'll always be with me. It's on my Hall of Fame plaque, so it'll be here long after I'm gone. That's a pretty daunting thing to think about as well.
That was the first game at Shea Stadium after 9/11.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful moment right there. Turning 46 today, Wes Bentley, who is Jamie out of Yellowstone and a bunch of other movies as well. Terrence Newman, my former teammate with the Cowboys, played with the Bengals, turning 46 years young. Beyonce turning 43.
Queen Bee.
Some passings today. My man, the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, passing on this date, 2006.
On the 4th of September in 2006, they took an inflatable out from the main boat hoping to film something they could use. Steve was in shallow water when he spotted a short-tailed stingray. Its tail was covered in venomous barbs that it used to defend itself against predators. Immediately, the stingray became extremely aggressive and unleashed numerous attacks on Steve within seconds. Blood gushed from Steve's chest. At first, he thought only his lungs had been punctured, but in reality, his heart had been punctured. His cameraman heard Steve say, "I'm dying." The crew quickly brought him back to the inflatable boat. They resuscitated him and tried to apply pressure to the wound to prevent bleeding, but the wound was too deep. The crew quickly took him to nearby Low Isles Hospital, but then it was too late. He was declared deceased upon arrival.
You couldn't have got something a little happier, Shark?
I
mean, he's such a fun guy. Crikey! Listen to him jumping on some crocs, alligators, and instead we listened to that sadness.
That thing was like 4 minutes long and gave every detail, and everything was filmed. He said, always keep the cameras on, even during accidents.
Keep it rolling.
Just so we have it.
Just so we have it. So my wife and family. Yeah, there's a reason why, Shark. Ripped that barb out. Terrible decision. And then this date, 10 years ago today, Joan Rivers passed away as well. Some holidays observances. It's Eat an Extra Dessert Day, which after hearing that, Shark, I might need to. Global Talent Acquisition Day. National Macadamia Nut Day. National Wildlife Day. Newspaper Carrier Day. And Shark, just for you, World Sexual Health Day. And those are historical events. Your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date. September 4th, the 248th day of the year, 118 days remaining in this 2024.
Good job with that, Bob, as always. Ryan Day doesn't want his team looking forward. He wants them to be focused on the now. You're going to hear from him coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now we are watching some lane closures on 23 stretching between 752 and Circleville because of an overnight crash. Crews are working to clear up. We're also watching a crash at the intersection of East Dublin Granville Road and Tamarack Boulevard. That intersection right now is shut down. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors, voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup. A long purple hair.
I'm so sorry. I'll get the manager.
I'm the manager. How can I help?
Wait, weren't you the Plum Insurance mascot?
What gave it away? My long purple fur?
Something like that.
What if all insurance companies were like NJM and were known for putting their policyholders first, not gimmicks? Then all those insurance mascots would have to get real jobs.
I'll pass on dessert.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time. Except for two things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Watch the PGA Tour's Next Generation at the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship at the Ohio State University Golf Club, September 19th through 22nd. Pub 13 drink specials, food trucks, and more. Get your free tickets at ncc-golf.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Who does Joe Biden have to thank for backing his extreme liberal agenda?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod Brown backed Biden, voting to let transgender biological men participate in women's sports, and supported allowing puberty blockers and even sex change surgeries for minor children.
My buddy Sherrod Brown.
And Brown backed Bidenomics. Reckless Washington spending and inflation causing prices to soar. Groceries up 22%. Electricity up 32%. Gas up 50%. The Brown-Biden price increases are smothering hardworking Ohio families. Their extreme liberal policies are hurting Ohio. And who's to thank for this mess?
I want to thank my buddy Sherrod Brown.
Biden's buddy, Sherrod Brown. Way too liberal for Ohio. Vote no. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, going sunny skies, high 86. Clear tonight with a low of 57. Heading into your Thursday, looking at sunny skies, high 89. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Ryan Day having his weekly press conference yesterday. As always, you can listen to that on The Fan every single Tuesday at noon when he does that press conference. And, Bob, we can all overreact. Game number one, drive number one, things that we saw. Ryan Day's got a little bit of a different approach to that. And he was just saying yesterday in his press conference that, it's a long season. They don't want to look forward. We can all do that. I mean, we've talked about it, right? Like, when's the first time this Buckeye team's going to be tested? Iowa, Oregon, yada, 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 whatever. They're not looking at that. They said each and every week they've got to focus and lock in.
The first thing is that we have to understand that, this is a long road to where we're going. And it's easy to sometimes hear the noise of down the road or what's coming. And what you have to do is you just have to focus on right now. You have to be in the present. And you'll hear almost every coach in America say the same thing, but it's true. And that's why they say it. And we're not just going to go in there and win the game in the first quarter. It doesn't work that way. We have to stay focused on each play, each drive, each game. Stay focused on the now. Ignore everything else. The good praise, the criticism, the expectation. Any of those things are out of the way. And that's everybody involved. And when we come into the stadium, we have to have a mindset that we get to play this game. This is fun. This is a chance to play. Fun is winning. Fun is executing. Fun is scoring touchdowns. Fun is getting stops. That's what it's all about. And that's why we're playing this game. And so, you feed off the crowd, and all of a sudden, I think sometimes, it's easy early in the season to, be looking down the road at what's going on, and then all of a sudden, you can find yourself in a little bit of a lull. That's not going to happen. It didn't happen. We responded well and, played really well in the second half. So we're looking to get a fast start on Saturday and, get out there with great energy and be in the moment and just, maximize every single play the best you can.
Is football fun to you?
Zero fun, sir. Winning is fun. Execution is fun. But understanding that there's an appreciation for it, you get to do that, and you get to do something special, not worrying about the future. That's the thing. At a place like Ohio State, you apologize for winning so often if it's not how it needs to look, and you worry about things in the future. There's a perception piece.
Not necessarily how it needs to look, how everybody wants it to look.
Yeah, it needs to look expected to look nationally, and the expectation of the fan base and everything else. And so, those are real expectations, and the pressure is a privilege with that, but not becoming a slave to that. That's the problem, is becoming a slave to other people's expectations of you and knowing that those are real, and not saying that you discount them, but they cannot become the sole focus of what it is, because then you're always looking ahead. You never get to enjoy any wins. Well, we won this game by 32. We should have won by 50 or whatever it is. Those, and maybe we did win by a lot, but it wasn't as clean. It didn't look like this. Offensively, we weren't as sharp early on. So you have to kind of disassociate yourself with that. And I think that's what Ryan's trying to talk to the team is. If you do that, you'll burn out. You'll burn out if you focus on all those external pressures. Just focus on getting better, focus on preparing, focus on playing the game, enjoy the process of playing the game. And when you do that, you'll feel better about it and things will come more naturally.
Well, because it is a monotonous thing, Bob. And
it's a long season.
You and I, we've talked about this before. And in the NFL, that you've got 17 games to get ready. And then you've got 18 weeks. You've got a bye week in there. It's the same thing every week. And now with the expanded playoffs and everything that's going on,
in this year.
You got 2 bye weeks. It's the same. It is monotony, right? It's the same thing every week. And I do think it was fascinating listening to Denzel Burke, who had media availability in training camp. And he kind of alluded to this too, even before Ryan Day said this. He said, I'm looking forward to every game. Every game is a matchup game for us, and we can't get too high. You can't get too low. You can't look at what's coming down the road or, oh, we did this great or, oh, we did this poor. You just got to focus on every single task that comes your way, and I think that's kind of the messaging right now that's coming out of the Woody. Here was Ryan Day on the things that the Buckeyes need to improve on after week one.
It's just so many things across the board. It's not just one area. You can watch all 4
for phases of special teams, kickoff return, punt return, and just identify things. Like for instance, on that play of a punt return, those plays go like 12 to 14 seconds. They're long plays. And I thought our guys busted their tail for like the first 8 to 10. And then for the last 4, like how do you replicate that in practice? It's not as easy as you think. So like that's just one example. There are many other examples in special teams on offense and defense. Each guy has their things that they need to improve on. You go through the list of things. We go through that with the team. We watch the film on Sunday, and then we go. I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but just little things all across the board that we need to improve. When you have a bunch of those things, it adds up, and we know where we need to be. And I think the foundation hasn't been built yet. What we talked about, the preseason and how that foundation was being laid. Well, we're still building that up and trying to figure out, how the preseason translated to game one. Again, there's some assumptions that were made, like, hey, this guy's ready, this guy isn't, or, maybe this guy's a little bit better than we thought he was, or this technique is not near where it needs to be, or, maybe there's somebody in there who maybe thought they were in better shape than they were, and after about, 20, 25 plays, their game started to fatigue, or maybe there's some guys in there who, the stage was a little bit too big for them early on. They had to settle down. I mean, these are all the things, and without getting into the details of all the things that we talk about as a team, like those are the areas that we all have. And each player has their own things that they need to improve on, and then offense and defense are focusing on, things as a group.
It was a fascinating peek kind of behind the curtain of how minute some of these things get.
Well, I'm just writing some of this stuff down, so I can remember the comments about it, but one of the things I took out of there, you start focusing and everybody's got their own individual stuff, as he's saying. But he's like, some of the guys, you get out there and the stage is a little too big at the beginning. So they need to find a way to settle down, relax, settle in, so your performance in the game aligns with the performance that you've had in practice. And that's what needs to ultimately happen. So there's different areas for every single person. No two guys are going to have probably the same thing that they have to continue to improve upon. And we talk about the old adage of, the biggest jump is from week 1 to week 2, and we'll see hopefully that happen this week.
Absolutely, we will. One more from Ryan Day, talking about everybody, even first-timers, getting some run here. He expects them to play well.
We expect to go out there and score every time we touch the ball and run the ball well. So, we're on the excuse-making business. So, those guys got to go and play really, really well. That's what we expect. And, we're at Ohio State, so let's go. But, predicting that this week they have a really good week of practice and they keep growing from it, they build from it, they have a point of reference moving forward.
Not the excuse-making business. I love that. I don't care who you are, how many times you've played here, how many snaps you've played. You got a full training camp under you. When you get in and you're wearing the scarlet and gray on Saturdays and you're playing in the horseshoe, we expect you to do well.
That's it. The standard is the standard game.
Yeah.
And, that's basically what you're saying. If we think you're good enough to go out there, you need to go out there and play to that level.
How the pollsters react to the first week of the college football season. And after week 1, what is the college football playoff situation looking like? We'll get into that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching crews respond to a 3-car crash on the intersection of East Dublin Granville Road and Tamarack Boulevard. Watch for crews over there. Also watching lanes shut down between 752 and the Circleville area on 23 in both directions due to an overnight crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union, BMI Federal Credit Union has 47 financial coaches to help you meet your financial needs and goals. Visit bmifcu.org/coach to get started today.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths R Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Colin Man and T-Bone here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, do you know that there's games going on this weekend?
Oh, I know. And your game day headquarters is the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Massive TV walls, 12,000 square feet, and all the gaming action you could want.
Wager at one of 4 betting windows and 30-plus betting kiosks. Beat the crowd and reserve a table for all game days this fall at HollywoodColumbus.com.
Wow, private table. Must be nice. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Friday night in the Buckeye State means only one thing. High school football, baby. Join Ryan Baker and Coach Lee Cochran for Byers Dublin Subaru High School Overtime.
Friday night at 9:30.
Your home of all things football. The Fan.
Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward. Most goals we set for ourselves have a pretty clear course. My family wants a trip to Disney World. So you read a couple of reviews, talk to a few friends, save up some money, and then you book it. There's maybe a couple of choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, what if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds? Where's the clear path there? You read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it sucks. Know what I say? Stop trying and do what I did. Start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 55 pounds with my first go at it, and it was simple. A word I never associated with weight loss, except now when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 roof.
Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your best swing. If you get a single, double, triple, or home run, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet on us. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary depending on market. Expired 24 hours from issuance. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Obviously, horrible news last Friday with Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Gaudreau passing away. And the Blue Jackets tonight are having a candlelight vigil in remembrance of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. That's tonight, September 4th. It is at 7:30. The vigil is going to be held on the Front Street Plaza outside of the east entrance. The Nationwide Arena will include brief remarks from the Blue Jackets organization, as well as a 13-minute, 21-second silent remembrance reflecting the number 13 that Johnny wore for the Blue Jackets and Calgary Flames, and Boston College, and the number 21 that Matthew wore at Boston College. And I saw this, Bob, over the weekend. So Matthew Gaudreau's wife was pregnant with a child, and she started, or the family started, a fundraiser on GoFundMe, and initially had a goal of $30,000, and it is now up to nearly $580,000.
Oh, goodness.
$580,000. So obviously a horrible, horrible tragedy that bestruck the Gaudreau family. It's just unimaginable what they've gone through here in the recent days. But again, tonight, September 4th, 7:30, vigil being held on the Front Street Plaza outside of the east entrance of Nationwide Arena. No easy way to transition out of that into this. Top 25 poll came out for the first time in the college football season. Really, the preseason was already done, but after week one, we got the same one. You did have a little bit of movers and shakers, Bob. Georgia remained the same at number 1. Ohio State remained the same at number 2. Oregon dropped down all the way from number 3 down to number 7. Now, this is the AP poll. Coaches poll is a little bit similar. I think Oregon dropped from 3 down to number 6, but we'll go off the AP poll here. Texas jumped up from 4 to number 3. Bama jumped up from 5 to number 4. Notre Dame actually hopped up from number 7 all the way up to 5. Ole Miss unchanged at 6. Oregon at 7. No jump for Penn State. They held steady at number 8. Mizzou jumped up from 11 to 9. Michigan dropped 1 from 9 to 10. Your biggest movers of the week.
Surprised Penn State didn't move more.
Yeah, I am too. I mean,
they didn't move at all.
No.
And I was looking at some FBI, like this power index stuff and different things. And a lot of people had them like 6-ish. Like they had moved up a couple of spots based upon how well they performed.
Yeah, so they didn't move at all. I think, I mean, we talked about that game a lot, you know, I mean, going down to Morgantown and what a challenge that would present. And, I mean, they scored that big touchdown right before the end of the half, and then it got delayed for a few hours. So it was a little bit of a weird game down there in Morgantown. But I'm with you. I mean, it is kind of weird that they didn't jump to the AP. Now, they did move up a spot in the coaches poll from 9 to number 8. So now they're number 8 in both polls. But your biggest movers of the week, one, Florida State gone out of the top 25. I don't think that was
from the top 10. Dude.
Yeah, I don't think that was a surprise to anybody because obviously they had that week 0 loss against Georgia Tech, and then they followed it up with a maybe even worse performance at home against Boston College on Monday night. So they are totally gone out of the top 10. Your other biggest droppers of the week, down 11 spots from 14. Clemson is down all the way to number 25 after getting absolutely shelled against Georgia.
Yeah, they fell pretty significantly, and their defense was good in the first half. I mean, they just couldn't hold up in the second without any offensive production. So them falling, like you said, LSU fell 5 spots. USC, though, jumping 10 spots up to 13. They basically flopped with LSU. I mean, LSU was 13.
Yep.
They were 23. They jumped 10 spots and took LSU's spot while LSU fell down 5. So now, it was nice for the Big Ten. I mean, Michigan fell a spot, which isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
You have Ohio State at 2.
They won the game, though.
Yeah, Oregon
1-0.
Oregon fell 4, which was a little bumpy. But Penn State's sitting there at 8. And then you have Michigan at 10. And now USC at 13. So that's 5 in the top 15. So
6 in the top 25. Iowa jumped up from number 25 to 21. So.
There you go. No, because they scored some points. They scored 40 points.
How about that?
So some big
after
moves for
looking
Iowa.
really bad their first couple of series. I mean, I had an eyeball on that game because that was a noon game as well. Like it looked rough for them, and then all of a sudden, just a massive points production for them in their first game. So they're up to 21. 6 teams in the top 25 for the Big Ten, and
the coaches at 7. Washington crept in there.
Oh, they did.
End. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Good job out of the Huskies. Who did they play on Saturday night? They played someone. It was a late game. I think it was like a 10:30 start for Washington.
Yeah, it was on. I looked at that beam, thought, hey, maybe I'll watch some of this. And I said, you know what? After this.
They played Weber State 35-3.
Notre Dame was the night game.
Yep.
It's like, you know what? After this night game, I'm going to maybe.
Call it quits,
or actually watch the Masters of the Air instead. But I couldn't watch any more football at that point.
If you were wondering how this all shakes out in the college football play, like if the AP ranking was the college football playoff ranking. Here is how everything would shake out. Your number one overall seed, and again, you're projecting that the highest ranked seed in that conference would be considered your conference champion.
That's who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Whoever it is. So there's going to be a team from the Big 12 and a team from the ACC get a bye.
Correct.
They may be ranked 13th.
Yeah.
But they're going to get a bye and get in. Now, how long does that happen for? We'll figure that out. But especially right now, Beam, as you look, Utah is the highest ranked.
Yep.
Non-power or non-Big Ten SEC, sans Notre Dame.
At 11.
At 11, and Miami is 12. So they're both sitting there. At least they would functionally be in that top 12 at this point. However, it would be Boise State that would be sliding in. So here's what you have to think about. It's not the top 12. It's the 4 conference champions, group of 5 champion, highest ranked, and then the rest.
Yeah.
So Georgia would be 1.
Yep.
Ohio State would be 2. Yep. Utah would be 3. Miami would be 4.
Correct.
And then you'd have Texas 5, Bama 6, Notre Dame 7, Ole Miss 8, Oregon 9, Penn State 10, Missouri 11, and Boise State would be 12, not Michigan.
Exactly.
So you need to be in the top 11.
Yeah.
It's not the top 12, and it's really not even the top 11. You need to be in the top 9 because there's no guarantee the Big 12, ACC, or Group of 5 highest ranked champion will be in that top 12.
Yes, exactly. So it is a little bit confusing. So your matchups that you had just mentioned there on the seedings, your 1-4 matchup your teams with the byes, you had mentioned Georgia at the 1 spot, Buckeyes at the 2, Utah at the 3, Miami at the 4. Those teams would have the auto qualifiers into the next round, so they would get a bye. Your 5-12 matchup would be Texas, who is currently the 3rd ranked team in the AP poll, but since we're projecting that they wouldn't win the SEC championship just based straight on polls, so they would get the 5th seed in this. They would take on the number 12 seed, which would be Boise State, Bob. So you got that, which is obviously a little bit it's a little bit weird. It's going to take some getting used to. Boise State not even ranked at the minute, so again, kind of strange, but we'll let things play out as it goes for the season. So that would be your 5-12 matchup. Your 6-11 matchup would be an SEC game, which would pit Alabama and Missouri. That game would be played down at Alabama. Your 7-10 matchup would be Notre Dame and Penn State. And then your 8-9 matchup would be Oregon and Ole Miss. So again, it's confusing. It's a little bit confusing, but by the time that we get to the end of the season and we continue to workshop through the ideas and what the college football playoff is going to look, I think these are good refreshers for what's going to be in store because it's not as easy as simply ranking the 12 teams straight off the big board.
Yeah, you'd think that would be the case. We always say getting the top 12 teams, not that simple. And Michigan being 10th would not get in.
As you alluded to a little bit earlier, we've got something going on in the tennis slam that hasn't happened in a long, long time. We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now we are still watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of East Dublin, Granville Road and Tamarack Boulevard. Watch for crews blocking that intersection. Also between 752 and the Circleville area, expect some lane restrictions on 23 in both directions because of an overnight crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Football fans, meet your new full-service auto partner, Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. From Honda to Ford to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we have the perfect vehicle for every football fan. Stuck on the road? Our 24/7 towing and roadside assistance is just one call away. And our convenience service means no hassle, just great service. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. For unbeatable deals and unbelievable service, visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye playoff game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex
Pros.
The pros who knows know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros, and if you'd liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Ooh, it's NFL time. My nipples are so hard right now. Anyway, the Ravens battle the Chiefs from Arrowhead Thursday night at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
Right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It is trending warmer out there today. We're looking at sunny skies with a high of 86. The humidity remains low, so it's going to be a very dry heat. Clear tonight. Thursday, look for sunny skies, high close to 90. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Reichert Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky? Yes, sir.
Happy hump day to you.
Yeah, Coaster Bob time right around the corner, even though the amusement parks are closing down these days. Hey, not since the days of Sampras, Agassi, and Roddick has a U.S. man been relevant at tennis's U.S. Open. It's been 21 years since an American has won the Open on the men's side, but it could happen this weekend. Americans Francis Tiafoe and Taylor Fritz won quarterfinal matches last night and will meet each other in the semifinals. That means, Bob, that we'll have an American in the finals.
For the first time. I mean, it's been 21 years since they won it. Wouldn't that be the first American since Roddick to get back to the finals?
Yes.
I mean, we were just outlining that earlier. Roddick was the last American to make it to any Slam finals, won the U.S. Open, Lost in Wimbledon in 04 and 05, and then lost again in 09. 2009 is the last time an American man was in any of the big four. It's 15 years. Beam, that's just quick back of the notebook, Matt. That's 60 attempts. 60 attempts that have all been dominated by Federer, by Nadal, by Joker.
I mean, the overwhelming majority won by those three.
And Joker, he just lost to the guy that Tiafoe beat in the quarters last time. So kudos to him. Like, Tiafoe's getting over there. And who's the other gentleman that I watched him?
Fritzy.
And those guys grew up. They're both the same age. They grew up playing against each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they're both 26. Hopefully, this is there. I was explaining to my daughter, I'm like, it used to be Sampras. He was great. And Agassi was there. Sampras was the grass king. Agassi won a career Grand Slam. You know, won them all. Roddick won one. And then it's been a desert since then. Watching U.S. Open stuff at night, and like, I love it. U.S. Open at night, Rothman always tried to tell me how great it was. And like, I go, when you have a good American, and my daughter was like, why are they getting fired up? I go, it's a home game.
Yeah.
They don't get many home games. The rest of them are in Europe. All the Euro trash is over there sitting there, cheered on their folks, or in Australia with the prisoners from Britain. This is one that's finally in the U.S. Let's go. Let's get one, Team America.
I thought it was interesting listening to Francis Tiafoe talk, because he knew at a young age that he was going to be pro, and he was talking about Taylor Fritz. And he said, I mean, Taylor was just an average, like, high school varsity player.
He didn't really play it full time.
He didn't really play it full time.
He went to a public school.
He was just a guy. And then he's like, I don't know, maybe I'll be pretty good at this. And then started training and realized his potential. I mean, that's pretty remarkable, Bob, given the state that Carlos Alcaraz probably had a tennis racket in his hand when he was like 2 years old. And every time, you know, since the time he was like 4 or 5 years old, it's like, this guy's going to go pro. Like, this is what he's going to do. And he's been training his whole life. But you couldn't ask for a better draw. I mean, no Joker. He got knocked out a little bit earlier. Fritzy knocked out Zverev last night. And then today, I mean, you have Sinner, who's the number one player in the world. He's taking on Medvedev, so that eliminates one of those guys. And then on the other side, it's De Minaur and Draper. I never even heard of those guys.
Draper?
Yeah.
No Alcaraz.
No Alcaraz got knocked out the second round. He was like minus 20,000 to win on FanDuel. And so the draw does set up, but you're right. I mean, it's something that's been happening for a long time. We haven't had any appearances in a slam final. And the fact that one of these gentlemen is going to get to participate in Sunday's final is pretty remarkable. So go USA.
It's going to be awesome.
When is that? The match is tomorrow or on Friday?
Semi
it's Friday.
Is Friday
the final Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be so drunk on Sunday. Too drunk to taste this chicken.
What time's that usually play at? That's a prime time event, right? Sunday night. Or are they trying to?
I don't think so.
They're trying to avoid.
I think. Gosh, you know what? Normally it's after the CBS football NFL game, but I think CBS has a doubleheader this weekend. Don't both Fox and CBS have doubleheaders on opening weekend?
No, I don't think.
I thought they both had doubleheaders on the first.
Men's final is slated to be played at 11 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh,
right,
so they're playing before the.
They're playing before. They're getting out
Wimbledon style.
Yeah.
Get early morning.
So the boy, I was going to say, Phil Simms and the boys will be on late, but
you think I'd rather
Phil's
watch Phil Simms? Come on, man.
I'm just saying, Bob. The NFL today is going to be on late on Sunday. Hey, last year before the Colorado-Nebraska game in Boulder, Cornhuskers coach Matt Rule said he wasn't about personal publicity and having cameras following him around. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders called it a personal attack on his father and a disrespect of the Buffaloes program. Even Deion said last year's game was personal. Well, the Buffaloes and Cornhuskers are playing again this week in Madison. In they have
a neutral site game up in Wisconsin.
In Lincoln. And Deion has changed his tune, at least publicly.
Ton of respect for Matt Rule. I call it our class of coaches. We all, took on a tremendous task that year, along with Coach Dillingham and several others. So I feel like we're a fraternity. So I root for that class of head coaches that came in that year. He was a professional, did a phenomenal job, maybe not the job that he aspired to do, but he has a ton of experience, and I love what he's accomplished in his college coaching career.
Beamer, either time heals all wounds or Dion is making sure he doesn't pour gas on the fire leading up to the game.
I think that's the second one. I think it's the second
He's
option.
watched the film.
Yeah. This Dylan Raiola character might end up being pretty good.
Hopefully he calls the dogs off my son from just getting them shelled to death out there.
Yeah, that should be a fun game. I mean, just remember the pomp and circumstance around this game last year. Colorado ended up winning, and then both seasons weren't exactly what those two programs. This is a noon, yes. Either that or it's a prime.
Yes.
I don't know, Bob. I don't know if it's a primetime game or I think it's a primetime game.
I mean, a nooner would be 11 in Lincoln.
That's okay, but Fox might want this.
This is a 7:30 game.
Oh, nice.
It's a 7:30 game. So you'll have to go to, I would think that it would be on NBC, right? Yeah, it had to be NBC because it's a Big Ten game. Yeah, it's an NBC game at 7:30. So you got to go dual barrels between the Buckeyes and Western Michigan and then Colorado and Nebraska.
Hopefully, you can shut that Western Michigan, Ohio State off and start focusing on Nebraska, Colorado at half.
I'll watch the
or at least
game.
Or at least turn that to your primary viewing.
I got to watch the whole game. I'm going. I get the privilege to watch the whole game.
Pressure is a privilege.
Here in the studio, and then I'll get off at like 2:30 in the morning.
People would pay a lot of money to watch a Ohio State game with Tim. Remember that, Beam.
Does Tim ever talk during the game?
I can't get him to stop talking, and he's talking about things that don't even matter. I'm like, Tim, I'm trying to focus on the game, but I guess he does 90% of the talking in the post-game show anyway, so what does it matter if I watch that? Which NFL teams are destined for the playoffs this year? We're going to do our NFC preview coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Wednesday. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of East Dublin, Granville Road, and Tamarack Boulevard. That intersection right now still blocked off as crews work to clear that up. Also on 23, expect lane restrictions between 752 and the Circleville area on the south side as crews clear up an overnight crash over there as well. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Erectile dysfunction is a destroyer of your confidence, of your joy and intimacy, and often it can even harm your relationship. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating erectile dysfunction. And I want you to know today that if you're like most men, you can be free of ED and all the impacts it has on your life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're your local provider for dealing with men's sexual health issues. Our expert medical teams are focused on treating ED, and we have highly effective treatment plans with some protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. We can even combine treatments for greater efficacy, all of which means it's very likely you'll be having great sex again within just a day or two of your first appointment. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
Ben Sattler, Assistant Vice President, Commercial Lending, on what makes First Bank of Central Ohio successful.
What we do as a community bank is really, listening to, that company, finding the solutions that best need their business and is not just a universal product that you could get anywhere else.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Does our waiter look familiar?
I think he was the Plum Insurance mascot.
If all insurance companies were like NJM and didn't use gimmicks, then their mascots would have to get real jobs.
That explains the long purple hair in my soup.
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. In the seventh inning of the Guardians-Royals game in Kansas City, Cleveland's Brian Rocchio fouled off 2 sacrifice bunt attempts and then hit a 2-run homer to extend the Guardians' lead to 4-1. They would go on to beat KC 7-1 as Rocchio finished with a career-high 4 RBIs. Stephen Kwan also drove in a pair of runs to help Cleveland win its 3rd straight game while handing the Royals their 7th straight loss. The Reds had the night off. They put a 2-game winning streak on the line tonight at home against the Astros. We still don't know whether or not the Browns will be renovating their downtown stadium or building a new domed stadium in Brook Park, but wherever they are, they will be playing in Huntington Bank Field. The team announced a partnership yesterday that renames the stadium. Huntington Bank has purchased naming rights for the next 20 years. The Sports Center is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus. Ford versus Ferrari night, Friday, September 13th at Valley Ford of Columbus. ValleyFordofColumbus.com.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Wednesday. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 7:35. Dustin Schutte of SI. He's going to join the program. Big Ten went 17-1 this weekend, so we'll get a little Week 1 recap from Dustin, who covers all things Big Ten for SI. So he's going to join us here again at 7:35. Then at 8:35, Jeremiah Birmingham, as some like to call him, a.k.a. Berm, who works for the podcast, Bob. You got to see him yesterday. He's going to join the program. We talk to him every couple of weeks. We're going to talk some Buckeyes with him. So Berm coming up here around 8:35, a little bit later on.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Sharky, how we feeling? 7-1 victory over the Royals. 3.5 up and 4.5 up now over the Royals.
Think about this. We're now talking magic numbers. 19 to win the division, 13 to make the playoffs.
Okay.
We're not worried about the playoffs. We're talking about winning the division.
That's right, Bob. Hey, let me clear up something.
We don't get that bye.
Because I sounded like an idiot in the last segment. CBS did carry the U.S. Open for like 47 years, but
it's on ESPN.
It's on ESPN. I don't know what I was thinking.
I was going to say, I didn't know if they had like the final, because I'm like, everything else I've been watching on ESPN the whole time.
ESPN's had that contract since like 2015.
ESPN has all the slams, don't they?
Yeah,
they've got all
Chris
the
Fowler.
That's a sweet gig he's got too. I mean, that's pretty good.
Sit down there in the little bunker.
Prime time Saturday nights. I mean, he's on the call, flying to the best college football destinations, and then during tennis season and the slams, I mean, go down to. Where's the Australian Open place? That's Sydney?
Australia.
Melbourne.
Is it in Melbourne? I don't know my Australian geography that much, but that sounds pretty good. Going to Roland Garros, going to Wimbledon, getting to hang out at Arthur Ashe. Like, that's a pretty sweet gig he's got.
Oh, yeah. Just you're there just for the hits.
Yeah.
It'd be like commentating golf and only going to the majors. Like, that's basically what he does. That's tremendous.
That's all Nance does now, that and football. That's a pretty sweet gig, too.
Absolutely. On top of let's not act like what he was doing before with basketball wasn't great. I mean, he did the final, he did the NCAA tournament game. He's not doing a Penn State-Rutgers game on a Wednesday night in November or December.
This stinks. I can't even watch this.
He's there for the hits. Play the hits, Beam.
Deep tracks only. So Guards take down the Royals 7-1, 7:40 first pitch coming up tonight in Kansas City. Reds had the day off yesterday. They'll take on the Stros coming up here at 6:40 this evening. Jamar Chase didn't practice. I don't think they had a practice yesterday, Bob.
They did not. It was Tuesday, so it was their day off. I was in college mode, where Tuesdays is the big day.
Yeah.
We'll see if he practices today. No practice today, he's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that much right now.
You're 5 days away from the game.
Well, it's like your big game plan day. You're putting everything in. He hasn't practiced all camp. It'd been one thing if he'd practiced.
Hey, he practiced one day.
Oh, my bad.
Practice
It'd have been one thing if he practiced during camp and then abstained from a little bit of time or some of the end. He hadn't really practiced at all. So he didn't practice Monday, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. That's like an extra bonus day when you have coming off a bye week. You normally on Monday would just work out, watch film, get healthy, do all that stuff. But instead now, like you didn't practice Monday. If you don't practice Wednesday, which is your traditional load everything up, put it all in there, like, dude, he's not playing.
I'd have
stinks for you.
Yeah.
Auto draft.
Auto draft Jamar Chase. I may have taken Jamar Chase anyways, but yeah, the auto draft.
Well, now you can blame the machines.
Yeah, I can. I can blame the computers. That's fine. You can always stream the show, too, on YouTube and watch us. Dark Star says in the chat, first time in here. Can't wait. Welcome. Welcome.
First time in.
Yeah, first time, long time.
It's a dark place.
First time, long time. So we got that going, which is cool. Again, you can watch all of our shows on YouTube. Just type in 97.1 The Fan on the YouTube search, and boom, hit subscribe. And all of our live shows will magically appear right there on your home screen or home stream, depending on which way you look at it. All right, tomorrow coming up here at this time, we're going to do our AFC preview, Bob. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look across the divisions. We'll pick a division winner, and then we're going to pick the 3 wild card teams to come out outside of the NFC. Let's just start from front to back here. NFC East, Bob. Obviously, the Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants. Now, looking on FanDuel for all these odds, your team that is favored to win the NFC East would be the Philadelphia Eagles. Cowboys won it last year?
Yes.
Yeah, Cowboys won it last year.
The Eagles, they played Tampa Bay and got smoked in the first round.
Yeah, got smoked in the wild card round. That's right. Yeah, so Eagles at minus 140. They started off 8-1 too, and then just limped their way to the finish line, and then got
real flaccid finish,
smoked by Baker and the boys. But they are your favorite currently at minus 140 inside of the NFC East. Cowboys right behind them at plus 175. Commies at 11-1, and then the New York Football Giants at 16-1. Division shakes out how winner.
This is a tough one. I mean, I think Dallas has a decent amount of talent. I'm not a fan of Big Mike as a coach. Dak isn't under contract after this year. I mean, they've got some issues. Philly looks to be resurgent, Bean.
Well, they got Big Dom back on their sideline, which is huge news.
That is Sirianni. They fired both their coordinators. They have 2 new coordinators, like you mentioned.
That came from management, too. I remember talking to Albert last year. And again, we'll check in with Albert Breer of MMQB at 8:05 tomorrow.
He might be on his way out if they don't get this done.
Yeah. Hey, look at their roster. It's great. It's a great roster on paper.
I'm inclined to say Dallas wins it. Philly makes the playoffs.
Okay.
It's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't feel great about it. I think both of those teams both have a chance to get in. I don't think either one of them is going to be like a 1 or a 2 seed. I think they'll be a 3. The division winner, I think, will probably be a 3. The 3rd seed, I don't think they'll be the 4th. I would say 3rd seed, and then maybe one of the others will creep in as a wild card.
So I'll go opposite of you. I'll take the Eagles to win the division. Yeah. I
don't feel convicted about either one of those teams.
I don't either. I have no idea, and I do think that the Commanders are going to be better than people anticipate them being. I don't see them contending for an NFC East. I'm rolling with Scary Terry. I don't see them contending for an NFC East crown, but I can see them beating either the Eagles or the Cowboys at some point this season. Yeah. Kind of throwing a wrench in the division standing. So I will go the Eagles to win the NFC East. As far as the NFC South goes, a little bit revamped, right? Carolina Panthers, awful last year. Their draft capital that they gave away to get Bryce Young, I mean, still didn't have a first-round pick. Now, they did come back into the first round. They got Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. He's going to try to help out Adam Thielen for a wide receiver. And then they traded Brian Burns in the offseason too, right? I mean, so they didn't get a whole lot better. So the Panthers at 11-1.
You like Xavier because he only buys his winter coats in the summer, Beam.
Right.
Mom taught him that one.
He's awesome, too. He may be a new favorite player of mine.
Great guy.
Oh, he's a terrific young man. So they're at 11-1, right at the bottom of the barrel. New Orleans Saints at plus 490 to win the division. Again, we talked about this yesterday. Dennis Allen actually has the highest odds for a coach to be fired first this year in the NFL. So the Saints at plus 490, Bucks at plus 310. They were the winners of that division last year and got it into the playoff. No, they weren't the winners of that division last year, right?
The Bucks?
Yeah.
Who else won it?
Yeah, you're right. The Bucks were because then they hosted the Eagles. Yeah, so they won the NFC.
Baker Mayfield, division champ.
They won the NFC South last year. They spent a lot of money in free agency as well for the Bucks. And then your favorites in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins coming over, big time free agency contract. I also think this is a 2-team race. I don't think the Bucks should be a 3-1 favorite. I think that should be much closer with the Falcons.
So the Bucks are the favorite or the Falcons?
Falcons are the favorite at minus one. What did I just say? 145.
I could see. Oh gosh, I like the I like it. I like Tampa Bay.
I do too.
Atlanta, I could see getting in and winning that as the fourth seed. I could see Tampa Bay getting in as well. I feel less strongly about this being 2 teams and more being 1. Because you get 3 wild cards, and that would be 2 of them we'd eaten up already. So I don't think both the NFC East and the AFC South, or NFC South, get 2 teams in. If the NFC East gets 2, I think that's at the expense of the NFC South, or vice versa.
Okay.
So like if Philly gets in, I don't think the second place team, or Dallas, like if you get 2 in. But I would say that I would lean to Atlanta right now, with Tampa Bay being that second team.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So we both have the Falcons winning the NFC South. NFC North, tough division. Lions getting to the NFC Championship game. They were 1/2 away from representing the NFC from the Super Bowl. Packers had the San Francisco 49ers on the ropes in the divisional round. They couldn't finish them out. The Bears are right there, and the Vikings. Vikings plus 850. They're last in the predicted standings as odds go, again, according to FanDuel. Bears at plus 340. Packers at plus 210. Lions at plus 125. It is the only division inside of the entire NFC with plus money on a champion.
Lions win, and Packers are top wild card.
I'm with you. I agree with that. And I don't think the Bears get into the playoffs or the Vikings. NFC West, 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and Cards. Cards coming in last at 13-1. Seahawks at 7-1. Rams at plus 330. San Francisco heavy favorites in the division at minus 190.
Yeah, San Francisco for sure. And then this is the thing. Like, this is why I said I think the NFC and the NFC South and East are only getting 1 wild card between the 2. Because I think the Rams get in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would be inclined to think that Philly or Dallas, whoever second is, would get in over that second NFC South team. Because I think the Rams are better than probably the second place team out of all 3 other divisions.
I think the Rams are going to be really good this year. And they're living with life without Aaron Donald.